Let me tell you, this morning has been a challenge. I've been challenged. Just one of those days where everything has been complete chaos. It is a heat wave at the moment. I am going to stop melting in front of your very eyes, but you know what? We are going to wrangle it back, take charge of the situation, because it's a spreadsheet kind of day, okay? Hey friends, it's me, Amy Rebecca, your internet bestie for all things personal development, intentional living and dream chasing. And all of a sudden I've adopted this mantra in my life that this summer is all about being healthier, wealthier and happier. Every day I'm like healthier, wealthier, happier, healthier, wealthier, happier. And you know what? I walked away from April feeling really good about my finances, my budgeting situation and the decisions that I'd made. So today we're going to delve into that. I'm going to share and break down absolutely everything I spent in April, where all that money went. We're going to budget out my paycheck for May. I'm going to talk about some of my side hustle income, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a nosy into my savings tracker as well as my debt tracker, so you can see how all of that is coming along. We're going to try and get through it very quickly because it is very hot. Oh, but before we jump in, we have a sponsor for today's video. How exciting! Today's video is sponsored by Bob and Brad. If you haven't heard me talk about them before, Bob and Brad produce massage devices developed by real physical therapists to help us live pain-free. I've been using their massage guns for a hot minute now. I feel like it's coming up on a year. Let me tell you, they have saved me so much money because I am someone who gets a lot of back and neck pain, and every time I get like a crick neck or trapped nerve, my immediate thought is, yikes, I'm gonna need to book an emergency appointment at the chiropractor. And instead, I get out my little massage gun and oh my gosh, it works wonders. I have not been to the chiropractor once since using Bob and Brad's massage guns. But today, I want to tell you about something new that Bob and Brad have to offer. EZBack and neck massager. As someone who sits at a desk for hours upon hours, where has this been all my life? Plug it in and you can position it wherever you need it. Neck, upper back, shoulders, lower back, even the back of your legs to ease those hamstrings. Let me tell you, I recently started bar class. My hamstrings needed this. I can hear the knots in my back clicking right now. It's really easy to work. It just has one button. So you press this to turn it on and then you press it again if you want to change the direction of the massaging knobs. It comes with a comfort cover that you can put over it to manage the intensity of the massage. I do not use this. The more intense, the better. I'm going to put more information in the description box. And once again, thank you so much to Bob and Brad for their continued support of my channel and for sponsoring today's video. Let's delve in. So here is my handy dandy budgeting spreadsheet. This is not one that I made, but it is one that I love. I believe this is the annual budgeting spreadsheet 3.0. I'll double check that and leave the information in the description box down below, but it's from a company called CoPlenty. I love their spreadsheets and I am now an affiliate. So use my link if you're going to get one, because then everyone wins. Okay, let's delve into this. I did come in under budget in April. Would you look at that? £7 whole under budget. And I know that's not a lot, but I went into April with a very lean budget for the month because I had to pay off over £200 of pageant expenses that I put on my credit card. So I started out with a very reduced pot of money that I was working with, and I honestly didn't know whether I was going to be able to stick within that because it was quite an ask, but I did it. Not only did I do it, but I came in £7 under. So I'm going to share with you what I spent that money on. And then let's talk about some of the ways that I think I was able to really cut down on my spending in April. Because my mindset towards my money has really changed. And I think these small tweaks that I've been making are having a big impact. So let's take a look. For April, I budgeted £0 for groceries, not groceries as a whole, but just the top-up groceries that you get throughout the week. And I actually spent 85p on bananas specifically. Eating out, budgeted £0 and spent £0. Petrol, budgeted £0 and spent £10. I budgeted £0 because I didn't put any petrol in my car the previous month, and so I was just working out of my little savings pot that I have for petrol. Car maintenance, I spent £25 on my car insurance. Gifts, £30 as per usual. Healths, £35 as per usual. Beauty treatments, £50 as per usual. And for each of those, it was a combination of, first off, cash stuffing, or I guess now virtually cash stuffing since I swapped the way I do things, but putting that money aside into a savings pot and then using it as I need to. Clothing was £74.57. That was paying off some pageant stuff from last month, so I had anticipated that. Makeup, 0. Skincare, 0. Hair care, 0. Toiletries, 0. Books, £1. A new charity shop opened in town and I cannot resist me a good charity shop for finding books. I got 2 books for £1. I'm not sorry. I know I'm supposed to be on a book buying ban, but 2 books for £1, it doesn't even count. Doesn't even count. Anyway, takeaways, I budgeted 0. I did spend £7.68 on a Subway. I don't know what's going on recently, but Subway has got like a firm grip on me, which I guess is fine because in the past it's always been Domino's. In the past, anytime I bought a takeaway, it would be a Domino's, but recently Subway is just sounding better to me, and I guess at least that's a healthier option, and it's way cheaper. Have you seen the price on Domino's recently? Disgraceful. Anyway, hobbies, I budgeted £290 and I spent £293.22. My good grief, what a good estimate of how much I was going to spend. And I know that is a lot of money. Again, that would be paying off pageant stuff from March. Also, I took up Pilates this month, although it's bar, so I don't know if that is technically Pilates. Is it the same? I like it whatever it is. It's hard. My butt hurts afterwards, and I think that's a good thing. Going to my dance class, going to my craft club, all these little things, they do add up. The way I see it is, I feel good about spending money on my hobbies. I'd rather see a big chunk of change spent on my hobbies every month rather than drinks and clothes and books and stuff, you know. Charity, budgeted £17.80 and spent £18.25. Transport, budgeted £15 and spent £18.50. And you know what? Sorry, prepare yourself for quite a few tangents today because I am drinking an energy drink, so my mind is like, the ADHD caffeine combination is coming in strong. I spent £4 to park my car last week while I was at an event for like 2.5 hours. Now I hate that to begin with because I hate paying to park. And I still got a parking ticket. I had my pay and display ticket on my dashboard. I came back, parking ticket. I disputed it and they did cancel it. But like, what? Swansea Council. Shameful. Anyway, social, budgeted £123 and spent £122.80. Again, I am getting very good at actually methodically working out how much I'm going to spend in the month. Oh no, wait, I take it back. I budgeted £14.10 for drinks and spent £41.35. Is that true? I need to survey this situation. Where are these drinks? When did they occur? Spent £13.20 at drinks at the pageant, £7.05 for drinks at brunch, and then another £7 for a glass of Prosecco at my cousin's wedding. Is that mathing to you? Oh, I bought a glass of wine. I don't remember buying that glass of wine, but apparently I did buy a really expensive glass of wine. Okay. Coffee, I budgeted £5 and spent 0. I didn't get any takeaway coffee in April. Personal development, budgeted 0, spent 0, unaccounted, which is the new category that I had to bring in last month, which is money that I just have lost somewhere along the way. I lost 35 pence. I don't know how this keeps happening recently, but at least 35 pence isn't that much. Subscriptions, I budgeted 27, spent 26.99, and then miscellaneous, I budgeted 0 and spent £8.20. With all of that, I walked away with £7 left in my account. However, I am doing, I think they call it zero-based budgeting. I don't know if I made that up. I'm sure I've heard someone use that term before, where the goal is at the end of the month, you zero everything out. So any money you have left over, you allocate it to something. So I'm going to allocate that £7 to my holiday fund because I have one holiday coming up next month, and then I also booked another holiday. That one's not until September, so there's time to save up for that, but I am mindful that I don't want to do what I've done in the past and not have any money set aside for holidays and then have to pull it out to savings. We learn from our mistakes here. We're not going to do that again. So with all of that, I think we can move on to budgeting for May. So there's a lot going on in terms of income for May, which we love to see it. I got my regular salary from my part-time job, which is £1,194. I also have £36 coming in from Vinted. I have £71.26 coming in from my side hustle challenge, which is the money that has like landed in my account during April minus tax. I have £150 that I'm bringing out of my YouTube business account. Up until this point in the year, I haven't been withdrawing any money from my business account because I was feeling a little bit uncertain about the calculations I'd done for my taxes. I wanted to make sure I had a bunch of money in there just in case I owed more than I'd calculated. And then I just really liked seeing that money accumulate every month. And that business account has kind of unofficially become my emergency fund. You know, it's a little stash of cash that's just there that is building up every month, and I like that. However, I'm gonna start withdrawing £150 a month from that, so it can still keep ticking away and building up, but I'm still going to be bringing out a little bit just to allocate to some of my sinking funds. So £150 I'm pulling out of my business account, and in April I got £50 from Nationwide just because. True story, Nationwide do this kind of thing all the time. Last year I think they gave out £140 just for a free money. So I've already gone in and I've put in my regular expenses. So my rent, the money that I'm still paying off my trip to Vegas from last year, my £100 that I invest into my mutual fund each month, all of my direct debits and subscriptions, as well as all of the cash stuffing that I do each month. This little chunk of purchases here are things that were on my credit card. Oh, also, because I have a big chunk of bonus money coming in this month from like side hustle and from my business account, what I did was I allocated £257.26 of that to my holiday sinking fund as well. And we'll take a little look at those sinking funds later on in this video so you can see what those look like. But for now, let's budget out the rest of this money. So groceries, I'm gonna say 15 maybe. Eating out, will I be eating out in May? Let's say I eat out once and let's put it as 30. Petrol, I don't need to put any more aside because I still have a little bit in my little savings pot. Car maintenance, I have my car insurance to pay for. Gifts, I will be cash stuffing. Health, I will be cash stuffing. Beauty treatments, I will be cash stuffing. Clothing, I've already spent £11.99 on something for a hen party I'm going on the weekend. I say that and roll my eyes, not because I'm not excited for the hen party, I really am, but because I'm trying to not buy any clothes this year, and so it's really frustrating that I had to buy that just for a costume for a hen party when I'm like, this is an obstacle to my goals. Makeup, I've already spent £16.98. That was on my credit card. Ooh, will I need anything else though? Probably foundation. I could get that with my Boots points though. Skincare is gonna be £0. Hair care, could do with a new shampoo bar maybe, so let's put that in just in case. Toiletries, I don't think I need any toiletries. Books, £0. Takeaways, I'm gonna build in a little bit of Subway money just in case. Hobbies, yikes, I've already spent £129.99. How can that be? Oh yeah, I signed up for boot camp at the gym, so I had to pay extra for that. It's £160, so what I'm doing is paying £80 this month and £80 next month to kind of spread the cost. So let's bring out our handy dandy calculator. If I've already spent say £130, I've got 4 sessions of Pilates if I go every week, plus 4 dance classes. Add another 10 onto that in case I go to my craft club, and that would be £196. Charity, we've got £17.50 with cash stuffing and direct debits. Transport, I will definitely be getting a train this month. I'll be parking. Do you know what? I'm gonna put 25. Trips, £0. Social, I've already spent £50. Again, that'll be on my credit card. I'm going to a festival tomorrow. I don't know, like a hot dog at a festival, it's like £50. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Let's say I spend 35 tomorrow, and then next day I've got the hen party. That's gonna be expensive. Say I spend another 35 there. Then I've got my weekly quiz nights, where, to be fair, I don't spend much. It's £2 for the quiz, and I usually buy a Coke. I'm gonna put 170. Drinks, I'm gonna budget 14 for 2 glasses of wine. Coffee, I'm gonna give myself a £5 for takeaway coffee. Personal development, 0. Unaccounted, hopefully 0. Subscriptions will be 27 for my phone and Spotify, and then miscellaneous, 0. Which brings my total to 687.47, meaning if I stick to this, I should come in under budget again next month. So far this year, I've only gone over budget once, and that was during pageant month, so it was a particularly expensive month for me. And I am feeling very in control of my finances at the moment. And I just want to take a pause for a second before we get into the side hustle challenge and all that stuff to just talk about some of the changes I've made that I think have really impacted on my relationship with my budget and on me being able to make progress in the right direction. The first thing has been changing the way that I handle my money. So in the past, I would withdraw cash and I would physically cash stuff into wallets. And I loved how tactile that was. Something about that, just like the whole process of doing it with my hands, it made me feel really connected to the money. And I do think that in so many ways, paying with cash makes you spend less, because you're so aware of handing that money over, whereas when you're just beep beep bopping with your phone, it doesn't feel like a transaction is even happening. But with more and more places being cash free now, which personally I am very against, I made the switch to doing like online virtual electronic savings pots. I'll show you mine so you can take a look and see what I'm talking about. So I use the Revolut app, and I have all my different like savings pots built into here. So as you can see, I've got beauty, car maintenance, charity, Christmas, clothes, gifts, health, holiday, pageant, petrol, phone. Oh, that's it. Now, having money set aside for specific eventualities, for specific occasions, has really taken the pressure off for me, because what I was finding before was I was taking away with my budget, I was staying within my means, but then as soon as something kind of out of the ordinary popped up, I didn't have the money there to kind of cushion that. That would happen every time I had to buy my contact lenses, because I buy them in bulk. It's £110. So that's a big chunk of change, right, to take out of your budget all at once. Same thing for buying gifts with people, or if things would go wrong with my car, which happens to me all of the time. It would just throw my budget out the window. So now, setting that money aside and having it there gives me this little cushion, and it gives me the ability to be able to keep to my budget and not have to pull out a savings, because there is already money allocated for those things. The next thing I have mentioned a few times before, but I feel really strongly about it, so I'm going to talk about it again. I switched to the Revolut app. Apologies to everyone who was recommending that to me for so freaking long, and I refuse to get on the bandwagon with it. But I'm there now, I'm riding it with you, and I love it. Revolut is a banking app. I first started using it when I was traveling, because I like the idea of taking a card that was not linked to my, like, the bank account where all of my salary comes into and that kind of thing. But now I just use it for my day-to-day banking, because what I do is at the start of every month, I take my budget money for the month out of my main account and I put it into my Revolut account. And that means I physically cannot go over budget. It has made me so much more aware of what I'm spending, and it has been huge for me. Now, this is not financial advice, because I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a girl who is trying her best. But I, from my own experience, would recommend the Revolut app. Someone recommended a different alternative the other day. I can't remember what it's called. Can't remember, but it's a similar setup. So have a look into it. I will leave my refer a friend link in the description box. Another really impactful lifestyle tweak that I've made that saved me a lot of money is to drink less alcohol. It's not like I was someone who was a big partier out like every weekend drinking loads. It's just not my vibe. I like to be in bed by 9:30, even on Saturday. But alcohol is really freaking expensive, especially at my local pub. You have a few glasses of wine and like your money is gone. So now I'm really mindful about asking myself, like when I go out, do I actually want to drink right now? Do I actually want a glass of wine? Do I actually want a cocktail? Because sometimes you can walk into a pub or you can go out for a meal and you just automatically order an alcoholic beverage because it's a habit and it's what you've always done. I'm trying to drink less alcohol for a myriad of reasons, but one of the biggest benefits for me has been the money I've saved. And while we're talking about savings, actually, let's take a little look at my savings tracker, which is built into the spreadsheet. So on the left here, you can see it's kind of a combination of like my savings pot slash sinking funds and just general like savings accounts, I guess. So at the top we've got my investments. My goal is to get to £3,500 and I put in £100 a month. So at the start of this year I had £2,317 in there. Now based on the calculations of this spreadsheet, I should now have £2,817 because I have been consistently putting in £100 a month. I do not. Don't know if you've looked at the state of the stock market recently, but yeah, this is not an accurate reflection of how much is in my mutual fund right now. We have my car sinking fund. I want to... It's really like an out of touch thing to say, but I want to save £6,000 to replace my car and I have saved zero. I started with zero, I still got zero. It's not like a #1 top priority for me right now, whatever. My holiday sinking fund, my goal is to save £2,000. You can see here that I don't have like a monthly amount that I'm putting in for all of these, and that's because other than a couple of them, I just put them in ad hoc as and when. So I currently have £1,202.26 saved for my holiday fund, which is pretty good. Pageant sinking fund is -4. I don't want to address that right now. I don't even know how that's happened. Christmas sinking fund, I am consistently putting aside £20 a month, so I've saved 100. My fun sinking fund has nothing in it. Same for my electronic sinking fund. But my car maintenance sinking fund, I've been putting £50 a month in, so I've been able to save up £250 a month. I just think this is like a really neat little feature on this spreadsheet because it helps you see like how close you are to your goals, and it helps to tell you like if you continue putting in the same amount of money each month when you will, you know, achieve that goal. I love it. I've got the exact same thing for my debt, the Vegas debt. So I owed £1,470 on that. I'm paying off £140 monthly and I'm almost at the halfway mark of paying that off. Almost. It does feel like a slog sometimes when you're saving up for something specific or when you're trying to pay off debt. It feels like you are just chipping away so slowly, but this kind of helps me to stay focused on the end goal. Okay, the last thing we're going to do, because I'm aware that this has been really long, again, blame the caffeine. We're going to take a little look at my side hustle challenge and what I've been bringing in April. Spoiler alert, not much. So in April I earned £28.04 through affiliate links. I earned £6.64 selling my book. I earned £20.73 through digital products. I earned £16.60 on Etsy. I earned £4.53 through selling my teaching resources, and that's everything. That's a total of £76.54. I don't know, last month I was like, I'm gonna get it together. I'm really gonna start focusing on my side hustles. And then I just did not. I have been working on selling my clothes on Vinted throughout April as well. I've been making a video about that. Lord knows when that is going to be ready to be published because I keep procrastinating. I'm still not done. I still have so much to list, although I'm not really counting that as side hustle income because one of my goals for 2025 was to fund all of my clothing purchases through Vinted income. But anything I make on Vinted, either I then spend on Vinted or I withdraw it to spend. Like on that top I had to buy for the hen party. I am feeling positive. I am feeling good. For the first time in quite a while, I feel very on top of my financial situation. Like after the whole Vegas debacle last year where I accidentally booked a trip to Vegas. Accidentally. It wasn't me. Irresponsibly booked a trip to Vegas. And I'm still now obviously paying that off. That threw me into such disarray. It's taken me until now to really feel like I'm back on top of things. Don't forget, if you want to get this spreadsheet, which I absolutely recommend, then I'm going to link it in the description box down below. And if you're sitting there watching this and your back and shoulders are hurting, then don't forget to go ahead and check out the Bob and Brad back and neck massager. But please remember that you are enough just as you are. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye guys!